We're finally here. They have announced the 3 skills that they will be polling to see which one comes into the game. Right off the top, sailing, taming, and shamanism. This is a very interesting sort of trio. It's exactly what I expected. I figured sailing was a no-brainer to be one of the options. Taming equals summoning, but different. We'll get into that. It's, so something new in sailing, something old in taming, and the wild card in shamanism. And this is going to be very interesting. And right off the start here, I'm going to say, I read the blog already. I've looked at the 3 skills. I think all 3 could fit in old school RuneScape. So I have high hopes. Like I was worried that I'd open this blog and I'd read through it and I'd say, oh my God, old school RuneScape is doomed. Like, it's done. Pack it up. Don't even bother. But honestly, all 3 of these seem like they would fit. They wouldn't ruin anyone's, gameplay. They would feel sort of nostalgic even if they aren't previously enjoyed content. So, I think just without further ado, I'll jump into it. It's a pretty big blog here, but I'll try and keep this one short. I say that every time, and it's like a 75-minute video. So, we'll do some skimming. They did the poll, 138,000 votes, 44,000 survey responses. That was a long survey, and 44,000 people completed that. That's kind of wild. If you guys want to look through the whole thing here, like it's pretty intense. But right now we're at the skill pitches point. Next up is refinement. So we're gonna refine the skills and basically flesh out all the details, and then we're gonna lock it in. Which one is it? One of the 3, and then it'll be put in a beta. At any given moment, they can go back. They can go back to, repolling everything and choosing a different skill. But basically that's how she's going to go. Community consultation. Yeah, they did a community consultation. Again, wow, you guys don't need to read all this. Is this the first and only new skill? It might not be. And you know what? After seeing the 3 skills, I think very well all 3 could come into the game in the next decade. If the game's around that long, I could see them putting in more than 1 at this point. Okay, so sailing, the no-brainer. People have been talking about this for ages. This actually already was polled. They polled it in a very boring way that had no real details, and it was just like a surprise, like, hey, what do you guys think about a new skill? What about sailing? And everyone was like, what the heck? No. At the time, it was the right call, but now I think it would work. I think it would be good. So yeah, they say that even here. They pitched it in 2015. It's literally 8 years ago. It was a meme at the time. Content, what can you do at the sea? I'm skipping through this. Don't worry. Rewards, summary. Here's a little click here to show. It brings up this. This is a nice looking, handy dandy little graphic here. So we'll jump into this part. All right, so the overview of sailing. Most of you probably know what this is all about, but they've got some nice little summaries and stuff here. So you'll traverse the seas as you begin mastering the art of sailing. Whether you're an explorer, discovering what lies beyond the horizon, a fisherman hoping for a monster catch, a pirate looking to sink every ship in sight, or even a courier looking to move goods from A to B, sailing has something for everyone. Acquire a vessel, set forth, and travel Gillinor like you've never traveled it before. All right, so what you do, you go to a port, you get a ship, and then you go do content. And that's pretty much it. The content isn't moving a ship through water. The content is what lies in the water, like what different things you can do. So that we will get into the activities part of it. So yeah, you go get a ship. You can either hire one, purchase one, steal one, or build one. So again, this skill, it has something for everyone in a sense that, if you want to recline and just hire somebody to do your work for you, that sounds like, the buyable aspect of the skill. If you want to build one from scratch, then that's more of like, the DIY people, maybe Iron Men, want to do that. If you want to steal one, maybe that's like what PKers like to do. Somehow there's a way of like fighting and stealing one. I think that's pretty cool. Activities. Once you've got your ship, you can set sail and start doing seafaring activities. Includes searching for elusive monsters, finding a new fishing spot, or just seeing what exists out there. A couple of disclaimers. They did a poll. People have noted that they don't want to see this as player-owned ports. That's something in RuneScape 3. So, yeah, the content itself, the navigation is a core mechanic, and that's something that scares people away when they think of sailing. It'll be a huge part of the skill, so it's important that it feels natural. The current click-to-move system might feel weird on the open sea. We've been toying with a few options, like a unique pathfinding algorithm, keyboard entry controls, or specific navigation interface. Okay, so a lot to unpack there. The unique pathfinding algorithm is interesting. I don't know really what that means. I think that's sort of like it navigates the boat for you, and then you just kind of like help the boat. The keyboard entry controls would be WASD. Imagine WASD and RuneScape. That'd be kind of I don't know. I don't know how that would work. And then navigating interface, that sounds like Bon Voyage navigating interface, where you click to turn the boat left and it slowly turns left. Anyways, this is all beta stuff. Like, put this in a beta and let us try it. And they absolutely are going to do that. Navigation would be a bit boring if that's all it is. They're going to launch a fully update to Gilnor's oceans with deep waters, coral reefs, sea currents, storms, and a lot of other new content. Yo, we're getting weather in RuneScape. Let's freaking go. Okay, we don't like the idea of giving you XP for just navigating around aimlessly. After all, you don't train agility by just walking. True. Instead, we plan to introduce a variety of activities that you can take part in. This will be the bread and butter of the skill and means by which you'll earn the vast majority of sailing XP. Yeah, so the XP comes from doing the content, which is great. Current suggestion includes deep sea fishing, hunting elusive sea creatures, delivering packages, and uncovering new islands to explore. So when it says uncovering new islands to explore, that to me is the biggest part, because they could just add an entire new island like Zaya with a ton of content on it. They could add new islands that are smaller than that, but have like a new boss on it, have a new mini game on it, have a new quest line that involves multiple of the islands that you got to sail from one to the other. It's just RuneScape needs content, stuff for people to do that is enjoyable, and we can check off our collection logs and we can see the number go up. This skill has, to me, the biggest potential for content, and they could expand on it very easily. Just add more water and more islands, right? It's very simple. I think it's the best fit, but yeah, passive gameplay. You'll throw in some passive gameplay. You can do stuff alongside training the skill. Small amount of XP, such as recording your adventure in the captain's log, dealing with random encounters. Sea is full of danger, bad weather, strange creatures, vicious pirates. You can get attacked and stuff like that too. Very cool. Reward space, boat customization. You're going to be able to customize your boat. They're offering more expansion to the ocean. Be cool. They're also looking at, maybe you can have multiple ships. So you don't just have one boat. You can have multiple. You can have your fashionscape boat. You can have your regular boat. You can have your go fast boat. Yeah, I think it's pretty dope. So here's the summary. Sailing is a support skill which lets players command their own seaworthy vessel to unlock, discover, and experience new content on the seas of Gilnor. Provides a wealth of opportunities for us to generate a huge variety of content, no matter what kind of player you are. Yeah, it does. This is the main part. This will have something for everyone. If you exclusively like training through one method, you'll be able to do that. If you want to AFK and just, chill, there'll be an AFK method. There'll be a pay to win method, GP, not real life money. They'll have a bit of everything. Most importantly, sailing will let us expand the world of Gilnor beyond what you ever imagined, with an entirely new sea map filled with danger and excitement. Sailing represents a huge opportunity for us to bring in new types of content at a later date. There you go. There's the sailing pitch. Thoughts below. I think it's so far great. I want more detail. I know we're not there yet, but I just want more detail. I'm going to take a sip of water before we get into taming, because this is something here. Oh God, that's delicious. All right, taming. This is pretty much what you would expect. You tame monsters, and now they're yours, and they do stuff for you. So, you domesticate a creature in the open world, care for it, providing it food, a home, and enriching activities. Train and level your new friend. So skimming through all of this here, some nice little screenshots. You know, you've got a wolf, a monkey, a little crocodile, a baby mutadile looking thing, a pig, and a bear, etc. Again, they've made a beautiful. I was scrolled down to the bottom because I read through it. They've made a beautiful graphic here. So, the taming skill. The overview. Discover new and existing creatures around the world and tame them into friendly companions. Earn their trust and take care of them, and in return, they'll aid you on your adventures. With your new taming skill, be able to befriend creatures around Gilnor and take advantage of their unique abilities to explore the world in entirely new ways. You'll deepen your bond with your new companions by training them up to make their abilities even stronger. So, sounds like summoning to me. Let's find out where it says, hey, it's not summoning. Disclaimer. We know what you're thinking. Animal companions, special abilities. Is this summoning? The short answer is no. We intend to make taming feel entirely different. Here's the long answer. We know that many of you have reservations about summoning, but community consultation revealed that you love the idea of animal companions. We looked into what you didn't like about summoning, and we made sure that taming approaches things differently. For example, we've nixed any kind of charms or pouch creation system. We told you that these mechanics made summoning feel too much like runecrafting, so we've ditched them completely. These will be permanent creatures. Summoning was a skill where they're nothing but temporary tools, and taming your companions are permanent, and your efforts to train them and befriend them are permanent. You can get to know these creatures. Yeah. Taming also allows you to level up while interacting with your companion, and you'll gain XP as they level up and use their abilities. The specific nature of these abilities will be decided by the community should this pitch progress to the refinement phase. So before we get further, we don't really know how this will work, what the actual abilities of each creature will be, and that to me is the major sticking point of this pitch. I think it's cool, and summoning fit, it was just overpowered, back in RuneScape 2. It was oh, you have 20 inventory slots. Well, here's 32 more. That's just game breaking. Imagine right now in RuneScape, you can go into a raid that you not only do you have your full inventory of switches and brews and restores, but you could just have 32 more spots to fill with brews and restores. You could last forever at Nex, for example. You could last forever at Nightmare. You could do raids 7 of them back to back, or Inferno. That's why summoning was okay, that doesn't fit in old school. It's too overpowered, and it just completely changes the meta. This will be different, and the abilities are going to be boring things. That's how I see it. You'll be able to find hidden treasures with your bird. One of them could sniff the ground and help you dig up buried artifacts. Training activities. Once you've tamed them, the fastest way to train it will be testing its things with taming activities. Obstacle courses, mazes, dangerous dungeons. Some just want to play fetch. Rewards, companionship is a reward. Unique interactions. They all have things that they can do that we can't, such as fly. So you could, have your companion fly to get you something, as opposed to it's got some potential, right? It seems like it could fit. The main issue is the overpoweredness. But then you look at skills in old school RuneScape like fire making. Fire making is useless. It's just a skill that kind of ties loose ends, right? It gives you an option. It gives you something to train. This would be more along those lines, where I don't think it's bad. I think it fits, but it's just it's not super crazy. So picture a new player, level 3, you walk out of Lumbridge and you go over to the chicken pen and you right click, and there's an option to attack, there's an option to examine, there's an option to walk here. You would have an option to tame. And to train the chicken, you would probably need to have some grain in your inventory, straight out of Minecraft, by the way. And you would use the grain on the chicken, and then it would say, oh, I like you, and then it follows you around. How does this fit with pets, first off? If I have a Verzik pet chasing me around, how does this work with that? Can you take all of the pets and build a farm and put them all in the farmhouse? That'd be cool. I'm all for that. And then you can walk in and choose which one you want to bring with you to go do content. But it seems like these are just buffs to skilling. It's summoning but for skilling, as opposed to summoning for combat, which is a lot of what summoning was back in 2010 or whatever it came out. I will leave it there on the Taming. It looks cool. It looks interesting. Definitely has potential. Next one, Shamanism. This one I was like, what the heck is Shamanism? Again, sip of water before we get into this. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so good. Wow. Okay. Core gameplay mechanics. You forage for natural components throughout the world. So that's like a collection skill, a gathering skill. Gather the spiritual components at disturbed sites. Again, gathering. Draw a ritual circle anywhere in the world. Fire making. It's like building a fire, and yeah. And then create powerful shamanic items through rituals. This one will make it, this is difficult to pronounce, sort of shamanism, shamanic, shahamana. So this is the wildcard pitch. They're very aware of that. Instead of it being a utility skill, the previous two were utilities. This one is, a mixture of gathering and production. I'm going to skip right over to the graphic that they made for it. Again, shout out to these graphics. This is like the best place to get all the info. So you'll study the magical power of nature through shamanism and unlock the ability to perform rituals. Gather components, perform rituals, and infuse objects with the magic power of the spirit realm. Create powerful items like tikis, totems, and poultices. I don't know if that's pronounced right. Augment your own equipment with the powerful new effects. Your mastery of shamanism will let you unlock your third eye and gain access to the spirit realm and communicate with spirits lingering between the two worlds. So here's a little screenshot, a little spot here that I want to say. This is showing that basically they're insinuating that Gielinor has like the upside down from what's that show there, Stranger Things. It's basically, it's got an inverted version of RuneScape, and this skill lets you go into the inverted version and collect things. It's a very cool concept. Don't get me wrong. This is very interesting. So let's keep going with it. I really want to give it a chance because it is cool. So you forage for natural components, you gather spiritual components, you draw a circle, and you create powerful shamanic items. So forage, you'll get plants and gather stuff from monsters. The spirits, so disturbed sites are locations around Gielinor with a special connection to the spirit realm. You can find and gather spiritual components here, which can be combined with natural components in specific shamanic rituals. I would almost want to allow players to flip between the main game and the spirit realm, where the spirit realm is the same, but everything's like upside down version, right? Here, picture this. The game is copy pasted into a second version where the colors are inverted or changed so that it's like a dark version, or like the purple instead of green version. And in this area, like everything is twice as hard. So all the monsters are like hard mode. So it just adds hard mode RuneScape to the game. Can you imagine that? If that's what this, skill leads into. So it's like, okay, I want to build this thing to increase my gear so that it's better, but it's better only in this spirit realm. And I have to go to the spirit realm and fight off these, a level 6 cow becomes a level 12 cow. Zuck becomes Zuck 2, and everything's like twice as hard. Hard mode RuneScape. Anyways, that's what I kind of think this should go in. They don't mention anything like that in this vlog. So you can draw a ritual circle anywhere in the world, just like fires are used for cooking. Ritual circles are used for shamanism. Much like fires, they can be drawn in most outdoor areas. Bring your components and combine them into powerful new shamanic items. At a ritual, you'll be able to produce items like tikis, poultices, oils, totems, be able to augment your existing gear. So scrolling down, so the actual gathering, they've got mushrooms, roots, bark, leaves, and berries. You'll mix those with things like giant bone marrow, hellhound blood, frog spleens. Cool. And then the spiritual components will be things that you can find in special nodes called disturbed sites, places where the veil between the spirit world and our own is thin, and careful adventurers can get their hands on spiritual components, physical manifestations of magic that are essential to shaman, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, spirit realm. Alternate reality populated by spirits. Skilled shamans can harness the power of this realm as a source of their shamanic abilities, as well as using disturbed sites to cross over to the spirit realm itself allowing you to explore the mysterious new area. Spirit Realm is a mirror of Gielinor you know and love, but it's subtly different. A locked door in our world might be an open one in the Spirit Realm. Mastery of the Shamanism skill will let you navigate the game world by jumping between the two, unlocking new paths, and revealing hidden secrets. What will you discover? Like, it sounds very cool. It's like it's like Portal 2 or whatever that game is. If you walk up to a locked door and you can't get through it, you flip into the Spirit Realm and the door's open. Anyways, like, this seems very cool. I'll just finish it off and then I'll give my thoughts. Shaman items, you can, again, they reiterate what you can make. And then they've got an image of someone casting a ritual on their bando's armor, augmenting equipment. Shamanism will provide the exciting new ways to improve your gear, whether that's a stat increase on your armor or a new damage type for your weapon or more efficient skilling tools. This is another thing that will properly iron out during the refinement phase. It's the big part. I'm telling you, like, same with Taming and this. We gotta know what this means before we go any further. Otherwise, we're not gonna get to that point. Like, these two skills won't get much further if we don't know what that means. Like, oh, can I change my Torva to have like 17 strength bonus instead of 8? Like, I doubt that, but that's what we need to know for sure before we get kind of further into it. So I'm excited for the refinement phase. So the summary, we've been over it a bunch. It's a gathering skill where you gather the stuff and then you produce things, and we just don't know what those things are yet. So one of my thoughts was, and I'm trying to remind myself what it was. So the Spirit Realm, I mentioned that would be cool if it was like a harder version of RuneScape. They're talking about having it so it's like slightly different, where the doors are open instead of locked, stuff like that. I just wonder why. Like, what changes this? What makes this different from the Arceus spellbook and warding? It's kind of like, off-brand warding. Like, it's warding in a sense, if you guys remember that. Skill pitch. If you don't, it's similar. But it's really just, it seems like it's the third option at this point to me. I don't think it wouldn't not fit. Like, I think it could fit in RuneScape if they really tried, or if it was fleshed out properly. And that's why I say, like, they might just add sailing first, say 2024. I don't think this will come for another 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. So sailing, Taming, and Shamanism, I think all three could come to RuneScape someday. If this was like 2024, 2026, and then 2028, for example. I could see it happening. It just depends how the first skill goes. If adding one skill goes well and people like it and they're like, yeah, let's do another, then that's where we go from there. So skimming through all of that, there you go. There's the pitches. These are the poll questions. After reading the new skill pitch blog, which concepts do you want to see refined further? Select all that apply. So this is where you choose the ones that you want more details on. I mean, realistically, all three are going to pass. Like, people will choose sailing, taming, and shamanism. There will be a lot of votes for I didn't like any of them. So this is it's probably going to be like very split. So they'll just end up refining all three. Which new skill pitch is your favorite? That's where you'll actually choose. Here's my guess. 50% to 60% will be sailing, and then maybe like 15% on taming, and then like somewhere in the 20% range of shamanism. I know those numbers don't totally add up, but that's kind of what I'm guessing. I think sailing will come out ahead on this one. A lot of content creators have already been advocating for it, and they vote with who their favorite content creator is. So that's just why I'm guessing the sailing. It also is better fleshed out. It has a ton of room for content. Like, you could literally put shamanism into sailing, where you sail to these islands that is the one sole gate to the Shadow Realm, or whatever they called it, Spirit Realm, and then you can go in there and figure stuff out. Or you could go onto these new islands that there's specific islands that include taming, where you can tame some monsters on those islands. It's not a skill, it's part of a mini game that you access through sailing. That's why I think sailing is got a ton of potential. Personally, I'll be voting for sailing. There you go. There's my. But I do really like the other two, and I'm shocked. I thought I was going to hate them. Would you be interested in filling out a survey? Yes. Cool, I'll fill that out. So upcoming events, skill pitch survey. They've got a Q&A coming out tomorrow, 2 hours long, pre-recorded with a bunch of questions. This might be a snooze fest, but some Q&As just trail on, and it's better just to read the Q&A. I might do a Q&A summary video. Let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, we've got lots of stuff. There's a Discord if you want to go in there and read and look at feedback. I did not get access. I wasn't chosen as being the new skill player council. Very sad. They chose 1,000 people. They said, what was it? They said like 10,000 people applied and they chose 1,000, or they had 1,000, they chose 100. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't be part of their top 100, but I was hoping to be able to give my feedback in there, but I am not allowed because I'm not cool enough. Anyways, we welcome your feedback. Can't wait to see which skill pitch you like the best. Very good. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for subscribing and liking. Appreciate you all. This has been a long one, 26 minutes and counting. Have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to end this video in the middle of my sentence like I did the last one because it was pretty funny last